Hello friends, welcome to Global Online University. I am Bahubali Desai. Friends, you all know that we are providing you mock test series in English and also in Hindi series. Already we have started and already we have provided you 10 mock test series also, and many people have requested us to provide the mock test series in Kannada also, because on 1st June KSET examination has been scheduled, and for that from today we have also started providing some videos in Kannada also. And as you all requested, we are going to provide mock test series in Kannada also from 21st May 2020, and we will provide you 20 mock test series, and all these 20 mock test series will be given to you only at rupees 299. So friends, enroll fast for these mock test series, and you have time up to 20 May 2020 to enroll. And I hope all these mock test series will help for your preparation. And friends, to get all these mock test series, please visit our website and enroll for our mock test series. If you haven't registered for mock test series in English and Hindi, still you can register and you will get all the previous mock test series also. And friends, these mock test series will be having 50 questions, and on each topic we are going to provide mock test series. And before starting the mock test series, please don't forget to enroll your email ID, then you will get the responses to your email ID. And the schedule for our mock test series in Kannada has been released today, and I have uploaded one video in Kannada. In that video you will get the schedule of our mock test series, and the link for that video will be given in the description box. Please go through it, and if you are preparing for KSET examination and if you want to prepare in Kannada language, please go through these mock test series and enroll fast for this mock test series. And friends, this is our 15th mock test series in video format, and as usual this mock test is containing 50 questions. Whenever a question appears on the screen, please pause the video and try to answer yourself, then you can check the correct answer. So let us go on the screen. We will start our mock test. Here the question is, which of the following is the most important characteristic of open book examination system? Friends, open book examination means where students can take books or various materials to the examination hall. Option A, students become serious. Option B, it improves attendance in the classroom. Option C, it reduces examination anxiety among students. Option D, it compels to students think. Friends, open book examination, it compels students to think. So option D is the right answer. And friends, open book examination means it will allow students to take notes, texts, any materials into examination hall, and these type of tests will be conducted to test students' ability to find and apply the information. I hope you understood about this. Now let us see the next question. Which of the following methods of teaching encourages use of maximum senses? Option A, problem solving method. Option B, laboratory method. Option C, self-study method. Option D, team teaching method. Friends, here the right answer is option B, laboratory method. In laboratory method we use our senses, so laboratory method of teaching encourages the use of maximum senses. I hope you understood this. Now we'll see the next question. Which of the two given options is of the level of understanding? Option A, first one is define noun. Second one is define noun in your own words. Friends, in understanding level of teaching, student will understand the concept and also try to explain in his own words. So here the right answer is option B only. Define noun in your own words. It is the understanding level of teaching. Here students will understand and also he try to explain in his own words. So option B is the correct answer. The next question is, and friends, here some more information is there related to understanding level of teaching. There are three levels of teaching. One is memory level of teaching, second one is understanding level of teaching, and third one is reflective level of teaching. Among these, memory level of teaching, a student will recall the information and we can say it is a rote learning. It will promote rote learning also. Then in understanding level of teaching, students will try to understand and they will explain in their own words. Reflective level of teaching, it is problem centric method. I hope you got this. Now the next question is, which of the following is not instructional material? Option A, overhead projector. Option B, audio cassette. Option C, printed material. Option D, transparency. Friends, the correct answer for this question is option A, overhead projector is not an instructional material. Please remember this. And instructional material means content that conveys the essential knowledge and skills of a subject in the school curriculum through a medium or a combination of media for conveying information to a student. And the term instructional material includes book, supplementary materials, combination of a book, workbook, DVD, CD-ROM, computer, etc. I hope you got this. Now we'll see the next question. Which of the following statement is not correct? Option A, lecture method can develop reasoning. Option B, lecture method can develop knowledge. Option C, lecture method is one-way process. Option D, during lecture method students are passive. Friends, here the correct answer is option A, lecture method can develop reasoning is not correct, because in lecture method what will happen is teacher will go on explaining the concept. Students may become passive and sometimes students won't listen. If students are passive means they won't get a knowledge. So lecture method cannot develop reasoning. So option A is the right answer. The next question is, the main objective of teaching at higher education level. Option A, to prepare students for pass examination, to develop the capacity to take decisions, to give new information, to motivate students, to ask questions during lecture. Friends, here the correct answer is option B, to develop capacity to take decisions. Friends, the main motive of teaching at higher level of education is to develop the capacity to take decisions. So option B is the correct answer. At a higher education level, the objective is not to pass the examination. The objective is not only to give the information. The main objective is to develop the decision taking capacity of students. So answer B is the option B is the right answer. Let us see the next question. Which is the least important factor in teaching? Option A, punishing the student. Option B, maintaining discipline in the class. Option C, lecturing in impressive way. Option D, drawing sketches and diagrams on the blackboard. Friends, which is least important in teaching? That is option A, punishing the students. A good teacher will not punish a student always. Okay, it is least important. Let us see the next question. Maximum participation of students is possible in teaching through option A, discussion method, lecture method, audio visual method, textbook method. Friends, you can easily guess the answer. Maximum participation of students is possible in lecture method. It is not possible. It is one-way method. In audio and visual also it is not possible. Textbook method, no. Then here the right answer is option A, discussion method, where students are in actively involving in discussion with the teacher or among the students. So maximum participation is in discussion method. Now the next question is, the teacher has been glorified by the praise, friend, philosopher and guide because option A, he has to play all vital roles in the context of society. Option B, he transmits the high value of humanity to students. Option E, he is the great reformer of the society. Option D, he is a great patriot. Friends, here the right answer is option B, a teacher transmits high value of humanity to the students. So option B is the correct answer. So we can say a teacher is a friend, he is a philosopher and he also a guide. Let us see the next question. A teacher can establish rapport with his students by option A, becoming a figure of authority, impressing students with knowledge and skill, playing the role of a guide, becoming a friend to the students. Friends, in teaching aptitude questions, you have to think in the level of students. Okay, then you can easily guess the answer here. Option B, impressing the students with knowledge and skill. With his knowledge and with his skills, a teacher can establish rapport with his students. So let us see the next question. And here some more information is there. Building rapport with students can be remarkably effective way of improve classroom management, to improve the classroom management, okay, to impart knowledge. First we should build a good rapport with the students. No need to explain it. I hope you understood. Let us see the next question. A teacher's major contribution towards the maximum self-realization of the student is affected through option A, constant fulfillment of the student's needs. Option B, strict control of classroom activities. Option C, sensitivity to students' needs, goals and purposes. Option D, strict reinforcement of academic standards. Friends, the right answer is option C, sensitivity to students' needs, goals and purposes. Which of the following is not characteristic of research? Option A, research is systematic, it is right. Option B, research is not a process. Option C, research is problem oriented, yeah, it is also right. Option D, research is not passive. Okay friends, here research is a process, but option B is telling that research is not a process. So option B, it is the not a characteristic of research. So option B is the correct answer. Now the next question is, and here are some characteristics of research are there. Research originates with a question or problem. Please remember this. And research require clear articulation of a goal. Research follows specific plan or specific procedure. Research often divides main problem into sub problems. Research is guided by specific problem, question or hypothesis. And research accepts certain critical assumptions. Research requires collection and interpretation of data. Research is a cyclical in nature. I hope you got this. Now the next question is, a satisfactory statistical quantitative method should not possess one of the following qualities. Option A, appropriateness. Option B, measurability. Option C, comparability. Option D, flexibility. Friends, here the correct answer for this question is option D, flexibility. So the next question is, one of the following is not a quality of researcher. Option A, unison with that of which he is in search. Option B, he must be of alert mind. Option C, keenness in inquiry. Option D, his assertion to outstrip the evidence. Friends, which is not the quality of a researcher? Option D, his assertion to outstrip the evidence. Option D is not the quality of a researcher. So option D is the correct answer. The next question is, what do you consider as the main aim of interdisciplinary research? Options are: option A, to bring out holistic approach to research; option B, to reduce the emphasis of single subject in research domain; option C, to oversimplify the problem of research; option D, to create a new trend in research methodology. Friends, the main aim of interdisciplinary research is to bring out holistic approach to research. So option A is the correct answer. Interdisciplinary research is the latest innovation in the field of research, and interdisciplinary research believes that the elements of scientific phenomena must be dealt in integrated form instead of designated form to bring out the concept in its holistic point of view. Interdisciplinary research, it is latest innovation, and it believes that elements of scientific phenomena must be dealt in integrated form. I hope you got this. Let us see the next question. The first step of research. Option A, selecting a problem; option B, searching a problem; option C, finding a problem; option D, identifying a problem. Friends, the correct answer is searching a problem. First we will search the problem, then we first will search the problems. In those problems we will identify any one problem for our research. So searching a research problem is correct answer. And here are steps of research. Step 1 is defining a research problem. Step 2 is review of literature. Step 3, formulate the hypothesis. Step 4, preparing the research design. Step 5, data collection. Step 6, data analysis. Step 7, interpretation and report writing. Friends, please remember all these steps. Sometimes on this sequence a question may come from here. Let us see the next question. To test null hypothesis, a researcher uses option A, t-test; option B, ANOVA; option C, X2; option D, factorial analysis. Friends, to test null hypothesis, researcher has to use ANOVA. And what do we mean by ANOVA? ANOVA stands for analysis of variance. And ANOVA, it is a collection of statistical models used to analyze difference among groups and their associated procedures. And ANOVA has been developed by the statistician and also biologist Ronald Fisher. Please remember his name. ANOVA stands for analysis of variance, and it is developed by Ronald Fisher. Let us see the next question. Fundamental research reflects the ability to option A, synthesize new ideas; option B, expound new principles; option C, evaluate the existing material concerning research; option D, study the existing literature regarding various topics. Friends, in fundamental research we always get new principles or new knowledge. So option B, expound new principle, is the correct answer. Fundamental research is also known as the basic research or pure research. It does not usually generate findings that have immediate application in a practical manner. Fundamental research is driven by curiosity and the desire to expand new knowledge in research area. Okay, in fundamental research, new principles will be generated, new knowledge will be given to the researchers. I hope you got this. The next question is, generalized conclusion on the basis of sample is technically known as option A, data analysis and interpretation; option B, parameter inference, option C statistical inference, option D all of the above. Friends, generalized conclusions on the basis of sample is technically known as statistical inference. Option C statistical inference is the correct answer. The next question is authenticity of a research finding is its option A originality, option B validity, option C objectivity, option D all of the above. Friends, authenticity of a research finding is its objectivity. Let us see the next question. Which technique is generally followed when population is finite? Option A area sampling technique, option B purposive sampling technique, option C systematic sampling technique, option D none of the above. Friends, if the population is finite, we go for systematic sampling technique. So option C systematic sampling technique is the right answer. If you study about the sampling techniques, you will learn these things. Please prepare well for sampling techniques. From sampling techniques, every year a question will be there. Now the next question. During 0 hour, option A money bill is introduced in the Lok Sabha. Option B matters of utmost importance are raised. Option C opposition members raise their questions. Option D MPs take a break. Friends, here the correct answer is option B during 0 hour. It means matters of utmost importance are raised during the 0 hour. The urgent or the very important matters will be raised by the members of parliament is in the period of 0 hour. I hope you got this. And friends, 0 hour is the time when members of parliament can raise issues of urgent public importance. Urgent public importance will be raised here, and for raising these matters during 0 hour, MPs, member of parliaments, must give notice before 10 am to the speaker or chairman on the day of the sitting, and the notice must state the subject they wish to raise in the parliament. And however, speaker of Lok Sabha or chairman or Rajya Sabha may allow or they may decline also to a member to raise the matter of importance. I hope you got this. Now let us see the next question. The best way for providing value education is through option A. Friends, what do you mean by value education? Value education, for example, giving moral values to the students is known as the value education. And here it is through options are discussions on scriptural texts. No, it doesn't work. Lectures, no. Seminars, no. Then option D, mentoring or reflective sessions on values. Friends, here the correct answer is value education can be provided through mentoring or reflective sessions on values. Friends, value education means inculcating moral values in the student's mind or children's mind. It means giving moral values to the students, and here some objectives are there. For example, developing character and morality, developing personality, health, balanced personality, developing cultural, spiritual values, developing good habits, punctuality, honesty, developing ideas of response citizen, developing values of democracy, secularism, equality, developing moral, spiritual, cultural values, developing vocational competency, developing positive adjustment, social efficiency, national integration. These are the objectives of the value education. I hope you got this. Now the next question is, which of the following comes within the ambit of the term corruption? Option A, misuse of official position. Yeah, we can say it is corruption. Deviation from rules, laws and norms. Yeah, it is completely comes under the corruption. non-action when action is required. Here it is also comes under the corruption. Option D, harm to public goods. And here options are A, B, C, D. Friends, here all these A, B, C, D will come under the corruption. So here the correct answer is option D, A, B, C and D is the right answer. All these will come under the corruption. I hope you got this. Now the next question is, which of the following statements are correct about deemed universities? Option A, the governor of the state, he is the chancellor of deemed universities. Option B, they can design their own syllabus and coursework. Yeah, it is right. Deemed universities are capable of designing their own syllabus and also coursework. C, they can frame their own guidelines, admission fees. Yeah, they can. Then they can grant degrees. It means here option B, C, D and correct. B, C, D and correct answer. And option, the governor of the state is the chancellor of deemed universities. This is not correct option. So here option B is the right answer. Deemed university, they remember these points. Deemed university, they can design their own syllabus and coursework. They can frame their own guidelines regarding to the admission and fees, and they can also grant degrees. Let us see the next question. Which of the following statements are correct about gender budgeting? And friends, please remember here gender budgeting means what we think it is a separate budget for women. This is not correct. Gender budget promotes the gender equality, but it is not separate budget for the women. Okay, let us see the options. Option A, it is a separate budget addressing the specific needs of women. It assesses the impact of government budget on women. It is an accounting exercise. It is another budgeting innovation. As I already explained you, it is not a separate budget for women. So option A we can eliminate easily. And it is also not an accounting exercise. We can say gender budget, it assesses the impact of government budget on women. It is another budgeting innovation. So here option A is the correct answer. It means B and D are the right answers. And friends, gender budget, it is not a separate budget for women, and it is about spending the same on women and also on men. Please remember. And just about gender budgeting is about assessing the programs targeted specifically at women and girls. I hope you got this. Let us see the next question. Which of the following are the objectives of Rashtriya Uchchatara Shikshana Abhiyan, RUSA? Okay, which are the following are the objectives of RUSA? Option A, to improve the overall quality of state institutions. Option B, to ensure adequate availability of quality faculty. Option C, to create new institutions through upgradation of existing autonomous colleges. Option D, to downgrade universities with poor infrastructure into autonomous colleges. Friends, here the correct answer for this question is option B is the right answer. It means A, B and C are the correct answers. Here RUSA, it is for to improve the overall quality of state institutions, to ensure adequate availability of quality faculty, to create new institutions through upgradation, to downgrade. It is not the objectives of the RUSA. RUSA will not downgrade any universities. So option D we can eliminate. Here the correct answer is A, B and C. So option B is the right answer. Let us see the next question. Which of the following commissions reports is titled as Education and National Development Reports? Option A, Radhakrishnan Commission. Option B, Kotari Commission. Option C, Mudaliar Commission. Option D, none of the above. Friends, Education and National Development Report. Here the correct answer is Kotari Commission. Kotari Commission report is titled as the Education and National Development Report. So option B, Kotari Commission is the right answer. Next question, chairman of UGC committee appointed in 1969 for the purpose of administrative legislation of the universities was option A, Dr. D.S. Kotari, option B, Dr. P.B. Gajendrakar, option C, Professor Yashpal, option D, none of the above. Friends, here the correct answer is option B, Dr. P.B. Gajendra Gadkar. Dr. P.B. Gajendra Gadkar was the chairman of UGC committee appointed in 1969. Please remember his name. Let us see the next question. In which year was the AIU, Association of Indian Universities, originally set up? Option A 1925, option B 1945, option C 1953, option D none of the above. Friends, AIU, Association of Indian Universities, was set up in the year of 1925. So option A is the right answer. Remember this. The next question is, okay friends, here some more information is there related to AIU. It is the symbol of AIU, and AIU stands for Association of Indian Universities. It is an organization or association of major universities in India. It is based in Delhi. It evaluates the courses, syllabi, standards and credits of foreign universities pursued abroad and equates them in relation to various courses offered by Indian universities. And AIU founded in the year of 1925. President is Dr. M.M. Salunke, and AIU is affiliated with Lovely Professional University, and the headquarters is located in New Delhi. Please remember all these points related to AIU. Now we will move to the next question. Public order has an item in the constitution figures in. Friends, public order in the constitution figures in option A the union list, option B state list, option C concurrent list, option D residuary powers. Friends, public order, it is the item in the list of state list. So here option B is the right answer. Please remember this. Now we will go to the next question. NUPA is mainly concerned with option A educational supervision, option B educational unity, option C educational planning, option D educational evaluation. Friends, very easy level question. I think you know this. NUPA is mainly concerned with educational planning. So option C is the right answer. And NUPA stands for National, earlier it is known as the National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration. It is associated with the UNESCO's Regional Center for Educational Planners and Administration. It is started in the year of 1960-61. And NUPA is an autonomous organization. It is remember this, NUPA is the autonomous organization. It emphasizes on planning, management and also capacity building in educational policies. Please remember this. And the NUEPA structure is based on 9 academic and 1 administrative unit. I hope you will remember all these points. And this organization NUEPA is renamed. Please remember this also. The organization was renamed as Asian Institute of Educational Planning and Administration in 1965. So let us go to the next question. Which of the following is a specialized agency of UN to deal with copyright and other intellectual property rights? Option A WIPO, option B GATS, option C GATT, option D none of the above. Friends, agency of UN to deal with copyright and intellectual property rights. So correct answer is option A, WIPO. Friends, GATT stands for General Agreement on Trade in Services, and GATT General Agreement on Trade and Tariff, and here the right answer is WIPO. You will see the information about WIPO in the next slide. Friends, WIPO stands for World Intellectual Property Organization. Please remember this, World Intellectual Property Organization. It is the United Nations specialized agency. It seeks to develop a balanced and accessible international intellectual property system. Please, option B, C, option C, sun, option D, all of the above. Friends, the energy in a food chain originates from option C, sun is the correct answer, because primarily the energy will originate from the sun. Here you can see the sun is the in all food chains the energy will originate from sun. So sun is the okay, sun is the energy will originate from sun, and all the food chains start with energy from the sun. The energy is captured by plants. Thus, living part of food chain always starts with plant life and ends with the animal life. Plants are called producers because they are able to use light energy from the sun and produce the food. I hope you understood these points. Now let us go to the next question. Population consists of option A, organisms in a species that are capable of reproducing among themselves. Option B, different species that can interbreed. Option C, collective members of a species living and interacting across the biosphere. Option D, some organisms that may not belong to any species. Friends, here the correct answer is option C. Population consists of collective members of species living and interacting across the biosphere. Here option C is the right answer. The next question is, cloudy nights are warmer compared to clear nights. Friends, cloudy nights are warmer compared to clear nights during winter. This is because option A, clouds radiate heat towards the earth. Option B, clouds prevent cold waves from the sky descending on the earth. Option C, clouds prevent escaping of heat radiation from the earth. Option D, clouds being at great heights from the earth absorb heat from the sun and send them towards the earth. Friends, here the correct answer is option C. Cloud nights are warmer compared to clear nights during winter season because clouds prevent escaping of heat radiation from the earth. So option C is the correct answer. Now we'll go to the next question. Earth is often struck by solar eruptions which comprise energetic particles that are hurled away from the sun into space. Which of the following statement reflect the effect on earth? First one is, when these eruptions interact with the magnetic field, they cause beautiful auroras. Second one, they break down radio communication and power supplies. Third one, they don't affect life support system on earth. Friends, here the correct answer is option B, 1 and 2 only. When these eruptions interact with the magnetic field, they cause beautiful auroras. Second one, they break down radio communication and power supplies. 1 and 2 are correct and third one is wrong. So option B is the right answer. Now we'll see the next question. The common features between NO2, SO2, CO and SPM is that all of them, option A, classified as primary pollutants, option B, classified as secondary pollutants, Option C, have equal role in causing acid rain. Option D, greenhouse gases. Friends, NO2, SO2, CO and SPM are called primary pollutants. So option A is the right answer. Let us see the next question. Which of the following greenhouse gases are entirely anthropogenic in origin? Anthropogenic means man's activities. Okay, which of the following greenhouse gases are entirely anthropogenic in origin? Option A, water vapor. Option B, carbon. Option C, CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons. Option D, methane. Yeah, you know the answer here. Option C, chlorofluorocarbons is the correct answer. Friends, CFCs are non-toxic, non-flammable chemicals containing atoms of carbon, chlorine and also fluorine. They are used in the manufacture of aerosol sprays, blowing agents for foams and also packing materials, has solvents and has refrigerators. Okay, I think you know this. Please remember this abbreviation also. CFC stands for chlorofluorocarbons, and remember this, chlorofluorocarbons are non-toxic, non-flammable chemicals. You may expect a question here. So now we will go to the next question. Maximum soot is released from option A, petrol vehicles. Option B, CNG vehicles. Option C, diesel vehicles. Option D, thermal power plants. Friends, maximum soot is releasing from thermal power plants. Option D is the right answer. Friends, what do you mean by soot? Soot is a mass of impure carbon particles resulting from the incomplete combustion of hydrocarbons. So maximum soot will be releasing in thermal power plants. I hope you got the answer. Now we'll go to the next question. Friends, match the following. List 1 is showing us diseases. List 2 is showing us causes. Option A, diseases are osteoporosis. Option B, leukemia. Option C, lung cancer. Causes are fluorine, SR90, benzopyrene. So here friends, the correct answer is option C, osteoporosis. It is because of fluorine. Leukemia, it is because of SR90, and lung cancer, the causes is benzopyrene. So option C is the correct answer. Now the next question is, human ear is most sensitive. Friends, human ear is most sensitive to noise in the following frequency range. Option A, 1 to 2 kHz. Option B, 100 to 500 Hz. Option C, 10 to 12 kHz. Option D, 13 to 16 kHz. Friends, here the correct answer is option D, 13 to 16 kHz. I hope you got the answer. Now the next question is, what type of chemical weathering is enhanced by acid rain? Option A, dissolution. Option B, hydrolysis. Option C, oxidation. Option D, none of the above. Friends, chemical weathering is enhanced by acid rain. It is known as the hydrolysis. So option B is the correct answer. And hydrolysis is any chemical reaction in which molecule of water ruptures one or more chemical bonds. The term is used broadly for substitution, elimination, fragmentation. In the following series, the series is 2, 7, 17, 32, 52, 77. We have to find the next upcoming series. So options are option A, 107, option B, 91, option C, 101, option D, 92. Friends, let us go to the solution. Friends, just observe the pattern here. 2 plus 5, 7. Okay, to get 7, they have added 5 to the first series, that is 2. Okay, 2 plus 5 7. Next 7 plus 17 is, okay, they have added again 10 plus 10, then 17 2. Okay, 7 plus 10 is 17, then 17 plus 15 is 32. Here they have added 15. Okay, next 32 plus 20 is 52. Again they have added 20. And 52 plus 25 is 77. So again here they have added 25. Okay, see here friends, here they have added 5, in the next they have added 10, next they have added 15, 20, 25. So in the next series we should add 30, because here the difference is 5. So 25 plus 5 30, so we should add 30. So 77 plus 30 is 107. So the correct answer for this question is option A, 107 is the right answer. Friends, I hope you got this. Please practice more and more questions on this. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment box. Friends, let us go to the next question. Find the missing letters in the following series: WE, SG, PJ, LN, and we have to find the next series. Okay friends, options are option A IS, option B SI, option C PT, option D QT. Friends, first we will write the alphabets and we will assign the numbers. It will be easy to find out. Okay friends, in every series let us write the first alphabet. Okay, W, S, P and L. Friends, see here, where is W? W is at 23rd position and S is at 19th position. Okay, they are coming backward. W to S. The difference is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So here the difference is -4. And again S to P. S is at 16th position. It means the difference is -3. Then P to L. Friends, again from P to L the difference is 1, 2, 3, 4, again -4. I think you have got the pattern here: -4, -3, -4, then next is -3. 1, 2, 3. So the next alphabet will be I. So -3. So the next alphabet is I. Okay, now let us take second alphabets from each series: E, G, J and N. Okay, let us see E, G, J, N. We should find the next alphabet. Okay, where is E? Friends, here is E. Okay, next G. Here what they have done here, they have added +2. It means E, F and G, the difference is +2. Next from G to J. G to J. Again 1, 2, 3. Again the difference is +3. J to N. 1, 2, 3, 4. The difference is 4. Okay, the next difference will be 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is yes. So the next series is yes. So IS is the correct answer. So here the option A is the right answer. I hope you understood this. Now we will go to the next question. Friends, here the third question is: education is recorded as NOITACUDE. Then red port will be coded as. Options are given here. 4 options are there. Okay, let us see friends. Let us understand the pattern plus first pattern we will see education. Is written as Noitacud. Friends, here just the code is the reverse of the given word. The word is education, just they have written it in the reverse order. In place of E they have written N. Means E is the first word, the last word is N. The last word is written at the first place. Next O at the second place. I. Next T. Next A. Then this C here. Then U, D and E. Noitacud. Okay, now in the same way we have to write red port. REDFORT. Okay, at the end T is there, so we'll write it at first T, then R, then O, F, D, E, R. So the answer is TROFDER. So option A, TROFDER is the correct answer. I think you understood this. Now let us see the next question. Choose the word that is least like the other words in a group. The words are option A chemistry, option B geography, option C zoology, option D botany. I think easily you can guess it. Chemistry, zoology, botany are the branches of science, but geography is not the branch of science. So here the correct answer is option B is the right answer, geography. Okay, let us go to the next question. Friends, if F is the brother of A, C is the daughter of A, K is the sister of F, and G is the brother of C, then who is the uncle of G? Options are F, K, C, none of the above. Okay, friends, if the F is the brother of A, okay, we'll write F here. F is the brother, means he is male. F is the brother of A. Next, C is the daughter of A. C is the daughter of A. Okay, C is the daughter of A. For female, we will give minus sign. Next, K is the sister of F. K is the sister of F. Okay, K is the sister of F, and G is the brother of C. Okay, G is the brother of C. Okay, now the question is, then who is the uncle of G? Friends, here C and G are brother and sister. Then A is maybe father of C and G, or maybe mother of C and G. Then who is the uncle of G here? K is not, because K is female. So F is male. So F is the uncle of G. So here option A, F is the correct answer. I think you understood this. Now let us go to the next question. Friends, town D is 12 km towards the north of town A. Town C is 15 km towards the west of town D. Town B is 15 km towards the west of town A. How far and in which direction is town B from C? Okay, let us see the answer, friends. By mistakenly the answer is given here, option D, but let us solve it. Okay, first we will mark north, east, south, west. Okay, town D is 12 kilometer. Town D is 12 kilometer towards north of town A. Okay, here we'll write town A. Then towards north 12 kilometer D is there. Next, town C is 15 kilometer towards west of D. Okay, town C is 15 kilometers towards west. Town C, okay, town C 15 kilometers towards west. Next, town B is 15 kilometers towards west of town A. Of town A towards west it is 15 kilometers. Okay, now the question is how far and in which direction is town B from town C. Okay, here town B is there, here town C is there. See here, it is a square. These both sides are 15 kilometer, 15. Okay, then this side also DA distance is 12, so CB distance is also 12. Here in two options 12 is there, so easily we can eliminate two options here. Okay, next question is in which direction. Okay, from is town B from town C, means from town C it is at the direction of south. So here answer D is the correct answer. Okay, friends, by mistakenly both the options are same here. Okay, don't worry, I hope you got it how to solve it. Let us go to the next question. Friends, A, B, C, D, E are sitting on a bench. We will solve it while reading the question. Okay, A, B, C, D and E are sitting on a bench. A is sitting next to B. Okay, A is sitting next to B. Okay, here B is there, then here A is there. Next, C is sitting next to D. Okay, we'll write it later that D is not sitting with E. Okay, D is not sitting with E, who is on the left end of the bench. Okay, E is at the left end of the bench and he is not sitting with D. Next question is C is on the second position. C is on the second position from right. Okay, C is on the second position, means he, okay, here C is there, he is at the second position, means here someone is sitting here. Okay, now who is sitting here? Okay, next C here, C is sitting next to D. Okay, here D is sit, then here D will come. Next, A is to the right of B and E. Okay, A is to the right of B and E, it is right. Then A and C are sitting together. A and C are sitting together, yeah, this is also right. Okay, in which position A is sitting now? Option A, between B and D. B and D, wrong. Option B, B and C. Yeah, A is sitting between B and C. So option B is the correct answer. Friends, you have to solve more and more questions to be familiar with this type of questions. So let us go to the next question. If the milk to water ratio in a mixture is 2:3, what is the percentage of milk in the mixture? Very easy question, friends. To solve this, there are total how many parts are there? 2 parts is milk and 3 parts is water. So total 5 parts are there, 2 parts of milk, 3 parts of water. Then the percentage of milk. So the percentage of milk is equal to, the percentage of milk is 2, total parts is 2 plus 3, 5. So 2 divided by 5 multiplied by 100 is 40%. So here the correct answer is option C, 40% is the correct answer. Very basic level question. So let us go to the next question. If candidate scores 5, 10, 15, 25, 10 and 15 marks in different subject, calculate mean marks score obtained by the candidate. Mean is equal to, mean is denoted as x bar, mean is equal to sigma x divided by n, where sigma x is sum of all given observations, n is number of observations. Okay, no need to remember the formula also friends, easily you can calculate. Okay, how to calculate it? 5 plus 15 plus 25 plus 10 plus 15 divided by 5. So it is 70 divided by 5, 14 is the right answer. So option C is the correct answer. 5 means here 5 observations are there, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 70 the sum of all given observations. I hope you understood this, and here the correct answer is option C, 14. Now we'll see the next question. Friends, if 1st October is Monday, then 1st November will be Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday. Okay friends, remember October has 31 days. Yeah, we know October has 31 days, and 1st October is Monday. Okay, they have given here 1st October is Monday. After 7 days again Monday will come. It means 1st is Monday, 2nd is Tuesday, 3rd is Wednesday, 4th is Friday, 4th is Thursday, 5th is Friday, 6th is Saturday, 7th is Sunday, again 8th is Monday, again 15th is Monday, again 22 is Monday, 23 Tuesday, 24 Wednesday, 25 Thursday, 26 Friday, 27 Saturday, 28 Sunday, 29 Monday. Again this it is okay if you want to write also. 29, again 29 is Monday, so 30 is Tuesday, 31 is Wednesday, so next Thursday, November 1 will be Thursday. So option A is correct, is the correct answer. I hope you understood this. Friends, let me explain you once again. Here October has 31 days and 1st October is Monday, so 8th October is also Monday, 15th October is also Monday, so 22 October is also Monday, and 29th October is also Monday, so 30 is Tuesday, 31 is Wednesday, and after Wednesday, after 31 November 1 will come, so after Wednesday Thursday will come, so the next day will be Thursday. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching this video, and please don't forget to comment your score in the comment box, because your score will help me to bring more and more mock test series, and I hope you all will enroll for our mock test series. Thank you.